been a really, really long time. I feel like I say that at the beginning of a lot of my videos, but it really has been a really long time. I'm gonna say in advance, I'm kind of trying out a little bit of a new setup here, so this feels really awkward to me, but I want to give it a try. And I'm gonna warn you in advance, there's probably gonna be a lot of shouting and yelling in the background. The kids are playing with the VR headset in the living room, which is right on the other side of that wall, and it's Liam's turn right now. So the shouting is extra because it's Liam's turn right now. So here is what I have been using since the beginning of November, roughly the beginning of November. I'm super content. I have no intention of changing this anytime soon. It does seem to happen, however, that every time I make a video of a setup, I end up wanting to change it. I don't know what that's about. I've heard other people who make planner videos say the same thing. I would love to know, like, psychologically what that's about, because I'm super content in here. So what I have is a standard size traveler's notebook. This is a Moterm. I have been swapping this out, you know, cover wise, just whatever kind of color I feel like using that particular day. So it's a standard size, and I'll show you what I have going on. Links to everything will be down below as usual. I kind of have them separated out by like the planner, the cover, the pen, all that's together, all the inserts I put together. I kind of organized them differently compared to how I usually do it. I'm hoping rather than listing them chronologically where they fall in the video, that maybe that might make it easier. So what we have, like I said, Moterm standard TN cover in black. This is a white snowflake planner charm from 2weeksOnMars on Etsy, which is super freaking cute. And a lot of her clips, you have options. You can get them put on a lobster clasp, you know, paper clips. She has all kinds of options in the drop-down menu. So she has a really cute puffy heart, a silver puffy heart one. Oh, trying to behave, but oh my goodness, it's so cute. So here is what is going on inside. Inside of this, I have an A5 Stalogy that I cut down to standard TN size. So I didn't have to cut anything off as far as the height goes. This was an A5. I did have to cut off of the opening edge because it was obviously too wide. And if I told you how much I cut off, how many millimeters I cut off, I would be lying because I don't remember and I didn't write it down. So when I fill this up, and if I want to cut another one, I'm going to kick myself because I didn't write down how many I cut off to begin with. I'm honestly really annoyed with myself about that. So here is what is going on in here. A5 Stalogy, I did the 365 pages. Someone had given me a half-year Stalogy, and it's nice and thin. I like the chunk, so I went with the full year, the 365 instead. Like I said, I trimmed it down. Height is already perfect size for standard TN, so that wasn't a big deal. And then on that, the other benefit to doing the 365 versus the half year is this clear cover is a Midori A5 clear cover. And because the spine on the 365 is, I have to think now, 6 millimeters wider than the spine on half year, that allowed me to cut down the clear cover without interfering with the slip pocket where you slide your cover. You can see I split that a little bit. Where you would slide the front cover and the back cover of the Stalogy into. If I had to cut off more of this to accommodate the narrower spine, I think I would have interfered with these pockets. So that was kind of an unexpected side benefit of using the 365 with the wider spine. This I made on Canva. It's just printed on photo paper. And this is a digital from, I always feel like I'm going to mispronounce the shop. And I am so sorry if I am mispronouncing it. Patty Shop Art on Etsy. It is, I'm trying to remember, I think it's pink and navy floral. It's a newer one. That's the same thing that I put on this vellum here. The sweater paper is from Design Inside Out on Etsy, and I printed that on sticker paper. And then I printed a vellum. I'm trying to see which sticker paper I used. I'm scrolling through links on my laptop at the same time, guys. Dun, da, da. Avery printable matte sticker paper. So I printed the digital paper, the sweater paper. I printed the floral from Patty Shop Art on Etsy on a vellum, and I just kind of laid it over the top of this around the spine. Okay. And what is going on in here? So I did the same sticker paper on the inside, printed with the same exact No, actually, that's not true. This is the paper, the flyleaf paper in the Stalogy that's kind of that, I don't know, people describe it differently. I feel that it's kind of like a greenish gray. So I covered that with plain white sticker paper that I didn't print anything on. And then I printed this sweater paper on vellum, because this I can just change out. I just have it barely attached with little loops of tape because I was out of repositionable adhesive roller at the time. So that way I can just change out the vellum and the background is white rather than that grayish green color. I did the same thing inside the back cover. This little bit is a sheet I printed from shethespy.com. It is from her Instagram stories backgrounds, volume 2. I just printed it on cardstock, tore the edges, and I'm just using it to hold some post-it notes. These are some post-its that I made on Canva. So they're just regular white post-its that I printed on. Made that in Canva. This is part of why I'm making this video, actually, you guys. I cannot find, this was a freebie. I'm 99.9% sure I found it on Instagram. And I did not save it in my Instagram saved file so I could see whose account it came from. I don't know why I didn't save it. I always save those things. And I went through a streak there where I got really bad about saving them. So I can't say I always save them. I was really good about it for a while and then I slipped. So if any of you knows where this card came from, please message me. You can message me on Instagram. You can leave it in the comments down below, because I want to leave a link to their Instagram account. And let's see, this is just a picture of Mike. This I also made on Canva and printed on vellum. The type of vellum I print on is down in the description box below. I get it from Amazon and it's inkjet safe because we have an inkjet printer. This is the page that's kind of always, if you guys are familiar with the Stalogy, it's kind of glued to this flyleaf page. So you can see that it lies shorter, narrower, I should say, than the other pages. So I never use this page. I find it uncomfortable to write on. So I put a vellum on there that I felt I wouldn't mind looking at any time of year. I tended, like certain things during certain times of year, like in the fall, I go very fall decorative. Books I'll look at all the time. So I figured that was safe. These little vellums I also made in Canva, and I have a referral link for Canva down below if you want to try it out. It is a free service. They do have different features that are pro, or you can buy credits to use some of their photos and backgrounds and elements and whatnot. If you use that referral link, obviously it doesn't cost you anything extra. It just kind of gives me extra credits to work with for referring you. So I made these very simple in Canva. If anybody wants to see how I did those, let me know. I left a few pages for an index. This index will basically be for, let's see if I can explain this. The way it makes perfect sense in my brain, but for me to explain it is a whole other thing. Please tell me I'm not the only one who ever feels like that. This index is going to be for contents. So not so much for things that happened, like if I need to remember the last time I had the plumber come, or the last time we got the oil changed on any of the cars, but more so for things that I have written down, like books that I'm reading. Like these are for books that I'm reading, I'm taking notes on. Things like that, content that's not planning content is what'll go in this index. So I left a couple pages for that because I do have a different spot for other, planning related, might have to refer back to type of stuff further in the back of the book. And speaking of that, that's what this little next section is. This is 2020. So this was my future planning calendar from 2020. This is from, it's a yearly fold out from SterlingInk. This washi tape is also from SterlingInk. She has printables on her Etsy site, and then washi and vellums and all kinds of beautiful stuff on her website. So this was because I want to be able to refer back to this and see when certain things happened last year. That's what these two are. So this one is from Peanuts Planner Co. Oh my goodness, I did not include this in the links, and I need to do that. So I'm going to annotate the screen down here as to what bundle this came from. I know it came from the yearly bundle. So this is when certain things happen, and because they're fold outs, I just kind of tape them down. So this is, like I was saying, big things happened. Like one of the boys graduated magna cum laude from college. The last time the kids had checkups, the eye doctor, things like that. This was my future planning. So if I want to see when things were planned for from last year, almost last year, as of tomorrow it'll be last year, that's what this is for. And then we go into, I won't flip through this in detail, but then we have November and December of 2020. So this, I always kind of like to have a one spread that's kind of the start of the month that I don't really write anything on. It's more there just to delineate it from the prior month. So this I also made in Canva, this I made in Canva, and this was a free download from PaperTessDesigns. So I think that's all I have for, yeah, so November and December we can do, I think I will do a separate a flip of those. And then here's where 2021 starts. So this is a 2021 overview. That's from Jasenia Printables. And then this vellum I made in Canva. The dots I used on here are from Cloth and Paper. I believe they might be the color linen if I remember correctly. This is also from Jasenia Printables. To Your Future Log from Jasenia Printables. So I had this in my personal rings for 2020 and 2021. What I'm doing this year, I took the 2021 portion of it. I believe I printed it at, it was either 110 or 115%. I kind of fiddled around with it to make it a little bit bigger to fit because it was personal size. This is obviously taller and slightly wider than personal size. And what I'm doing is I'm penciling in for future planning, and then as the month passes I will also use this as an index. So like here one of the boys has a doctor's appointment, so I penciled it in. As January goes by I will write in probably in ink like, oh, here's the day that we had, like I said, like let's say the plumber came, or let's say, you know, whatever happened. This will be, it can kind of serve a dual purpose, then I don't have to have two separate, both a future planning and you know, an index. I can have it all in one. I printed these on Tomoe River paper. There's a link for that down below, and I added them to the page the same as I did like back here for these for November and December. Those are also printed on Tomoe River paper, so are these, and I just use them, I lay them down with a Scotch repositionable adhesive roller. So there is, that takes up that many pages, and obviously like post-its and things like that. And then here was January, same thing. I made all three of those in Canva. And then my monthly, I usually have a monthly that's 4 pages. This is the rest of the afternoon today actually is filling this part of it out, but this is the regular TN monthly planner with a 5mm grid. It's from ImpossibleMoth on Etsy. I usually put my bill due dates over here. You know, any dates, as you can see, everything is right up in the air right now. Preseason hockey is just starting this weekend, so everything is totally up in the air. So the only date on here is that the kids go back to school January 4th, and everybody in our house is doing remote learning anyway. So that's what that looks like right now. So I, again, printed on Tomoe River paper, put it down with the Scotch repositionable roller. These are from Journaling Etc. Journaling Etc. on Instagram. It is a free download. I kind of fiddled around with getting it down to this size. I believe I had it, I opened up the PDF, I had it print 9 on a page if I remember correctly, and so they came up to the size. And what this is going to be for, like I said, I have to fill this in this afternoon, but this will be like home and family to-dos. This will be project to-dos over here. And those come from in the back. I'll show you that in a second. And then I just started laying out my weeks, which I'll go through this more when we do a January flip at the end of the month. And we didn't talk about tabs. My tabs, these are page flags from Cloth and Paper. And this one is a monthly tab from Cotton Crescent on Etsy. These, I did not see them in the shop. I just checked it before I started recording this. But it is Cotton Crescent. I put a link to the shop down below. I love these. I love the font. I love that they're very, you know, muted and neutral. I love it. And I just added them to removable, like Post-it tabs so that I can move them around and reuse them. If you wanted to know how to do that, I have a video on my channel called How I Make My Tiny Tabs that shows how I do those. These other tabs that are from Cloth and Paper, and like this one up here as well, these I just used Dymo Letra-Tag label maker and just stuck them right onto the page flag, trimmed it off, so that way I have lots of tabs because I like to tab all the things, right? So what is next back here? The next thing would be health. Now I have tried a Hobonichi cousin twice, It never works out for me, but one of the things I really liked about the Hobonichi Cousin was that yearly kind of index or yearly overview in the front. So Simple and Trendy Co. has an A5 Hobonichi inspired kind of yearly overview, and this is what it looks like. So I downloaded the A5 size, printed it at regular size. I washied it in here, and then because this is obviously wider, A5 is wider than standard TN, I just folded along the outer month on each page. So this will be where I put workouts, water stuff, health stuff, basically. If I'm on any medication, anything like that, I want to be able to keep all that in one place for the year. And if and when I fill this book up and I move on to another book, I can just take these out because they're washed in, and I can just move them over. So that takes 2 spreads. There's July through December for that. The next stretch is quarterly planning. So these are from PaperTessDesigns on Etsy. I did the personal size because I already had them for personal rings, and no, that was last year's. I did last year's on personal rings. So these, I cannot remember if it was 110 or 115% I printed on to make it fit in here. And so it's basically, this whole spread is January, February, March, quarter 1. So I can lay out what I want to do when, and I can also track when I did it. So if I have videos over here I want to get done, I can mark them over here, and I'm kind of tinkering with how I want to mark them. I was going to use like dots, colored dots, like from Cloth and Paper or Glittery Life Plans or something like that. But I got thinking about that. If I do more than one thing over here from this list, I don't want multiple dots overlapping in these small spaces, and I wouldn't want these to be any bigger to accommodate the dots because I like the size of this. So that if I number the projects, then over here I can, mark out when I did them. So I have quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4 of those in here. The next little stretch is topics. So this is video and writing ideas. The next spread is just Post-its. It's a finance. I moved all my finances to my phone as well, but anything I'm waiting for basically goes onto Post-its in the finance kind of spread. A someday maybe list of just kind of things that we need to get to or things that I want to get but I'm not in a huge hurry for, and a pen test page, and then leftover page flags, ones that I've already labeled and used and whatnot, and then I do have an actual waiting for Post-it behind there. And then back here I also made that in Canva. That's the same sweater paper as earlier, and this is a vinyl from Dakshina that she so kindly sent me. I have moved this vinyl to so many planners, that one and this one she sent me last spring as well, and I love them, so I make them so that I can keep moving them around. One of my favorite quotes ever from Patrick Rothfuss. And that is it. In the pockets, I have stickers from See Amy Draw, Cloth and Paper. My dots are from Glittery Life Plans. I have school stickers. These are for the Hobonichi Weeks from Caden's Mom Shops. And then I have strips and dots from Let's Make It Sparkle. These are Days of the Week from Cotton Crescent. And these date dots I have had for an eternity. I bought probably 4 or 5 packs of them forever ago. I believe they're from Heidi Swap. So that is it for now, you all. I am super content in here. I am not in any hurry to move. But now that I've said that, we'll see what happens. But I really don't I don't want to spend my time constantly changing my planner if I can help it. I do have a million other things I should be doing. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. I hope that this new recording format works. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. I'm going to look at the quality of it now that we're all done. So I hope to talk to you guys again soon. I would like to do a November and December flip, since November and December are basically done in here. So now we've seen some fresh pages, and then we can look at some used pages as well. So I hope you're all doing well. I hope you all enjoy your new year, and let's hope that 2021 rolls on at least a little bit easier than 2020 did. I will talk to you all soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.